Jim is the author of several published books, including the popular What's Tarot Got to Do with It? The Fool's Path to Enlightenment. He will offer you tips and tricks for getting your manuscript just right before publishing. Please help me welcome Jim Larsen.
Thank you, Jerry. Ladies and gentlemen, the first, the first step in publishing any manuscript is to have a manuscript that is worth publishing. I know that's a little bit of a no-brainer. I mean, of course, you want to have something that's worth reading. But how do you get it that way? Some people just seem so intimidated by the prospect of putting words down on the paper that other people are going to read. They just get this idea that, oh, maybe my ideas aren't good enough. Maybe this is going to be too hard. Maybe I shouldn't try. But that is not a good mindset. It should not be that way. People should feel confident and have faith in their ideas and not feel as though they are unworthy to be shared. What needs to happen is we need to understand that we all have ideas worthy of sharing, but making them shareable is a process. It doesn't just happen in a flash. No, there's work to be done. I think Melanie explained that very well with her process. There's work to be done to get these ideas down on paper. Journaling, keep a journal like we've been talking about. That is a wonderful idea. I keep journals all the time. I just started this one because I filled this one. So now I'm on to this one. I'm always keeping journals. So just keep your thoughts flowing, keep them going, keep them on the paper and get them down. And you got to think that it's a process. It's not happening all at once. So once the words are down, this is your first draft. Consider your first draft of a manuscript as just a brain dump draft. You're not worried about making it perfect just yet. Just get those words on page. Consider this blank page to be like a cake. That's how I like to think of it. The page is a cake, and your job is to put frosting on that cake. And your words are that frosting. Just as you're baking a cake, you put glops of frosting on top, right? Consider those glops the words, and then you take a knife or a spatula and you smooth them out. You make it look nice. Make people excited to eat this cake. Make people excited to see it. If they spent money on that cake, make them feel as though that money was well spent. Your ideas and your words are like that frosting. And how do you go about frosting this cake? You put, like I say, you put the glops on and you smooth it out. It's not perfect right at first. You have to make it perfect. Just like your words on the page. Those are the frosting on your cake. Consider it that way. Treat your writing that way. Treat your, like I said, your first draft as that brain dump. Don't make it work. Don't worry about making it perfect or pretty the first time. That'll be your second draft. Your second draft is like you're smoothing the frosting on the cake. You go through, you find all the filler words, you find the phraseology that's working for you, and you find what's not working. You figure out what you need to add, what you need to subtract, and then you work on it. This is your second draft. You'll make yourself crazy if you think you have to get it perfect the first time. I mean, like say the first time is just a brain dump. Don't worry about it. Just get your ideas down and then smooth it all out. Do the best you can to do that. Don't worry about perfection the first time around. So once this is done, once your words are done, now you can move on and figure out the paragraph thing, figure out how it looks, figure out how it sounds. You want it to sound nice too. So you just want to take a step back as if you're looking at your cake from a wide angle. Back to the cake analogy. You see your cake and you see things that, well, maybe I could put a little here, a little flower or something or other here, something to make it look a little bit nicer. You can do that with your writing by hearing it out loud. This is a great way to hear, to understand what's working and what isn't. Because when your readers read what you have written, they're going to hear it in the voice in their own head. When you're writing, you're going to hear these words in your own voice. You're not going to hear it from what your reader is hearing. But if you can hear it read out loud, either read it yourself, maybe audio record or video record and play it back, and then you can get a better sense of what your readers are going to be hearing. If you can get a friend, somebody else to read it to you, that is very beneficial. It's very beneficial if you can be in a writer's group, get together with people, read each other's things out loud and hear it. That is so beneficial. I've done this in a few different groups over the years and over the different places I've lived in my life. And it's really helpful because you hear a better idea of what the reader is going to hear. There's also a number of computer apps, Speechalo, for example. I understand Google has something. I still need to look into that. I hear it's a good one, but there's so many just text to voice apps out there that you can program to read your writing and hear it. And when you do that, you hear little filler words. Like, for example, I'm always using the word just. I use the word just too much in my writing. But when I hear it out loud, I can say, oh, yeah, I did it there, didn't I? I need to go back and take that out because it just makes it too clunky. That's a word I like, clunky writing, just too many filler words. So do this and you will have a great draft. I promise you that. So don't feel like it has to happen all at once, all in one go. Do several drafts, do 2 or 3 drafts, always looking for these things, always looking for your phraseology and filler words and just how it could sound better, because we all have ideas that are worthy to be shared. And somewhere there's an audience who's going to really, truly appreciate what you have to say. So get your words out there so that they can find you and benefit from what you have to say. Thank you very much.